out game number 1 and game number 2. At least game number 2, they were able to win. But this next game, game number 3, it's like we're back in a best of 5.
Yes, we are brand new best of 5 here. This one is not even the finishing line. You're nowhere near the finishing line. Right now, this is to get to the halfway mark. And halfway mark, this is where you get the waters. You know, people will be standing at your sides, cheering you on. Go the distance. And we'll see. Boom Esports, they start off with the higher band. This is going to be mirrored with the Chicha band from the side of BIGETRON by Vitality.
Yeah, they even banned the Haya here from the side of Boom Esports because that's a potential one. They don't ban the Zhangfei. I think that's a potential pick here for draw. Even as a first pick, I think that's not bad. They just have this ample respect for that Luna every time Zhangqiu is on the other side.
Yeah, it's definitely important, right? And Luna is definitely one of the specialties of Zhangqiu. I mean, a lot of the assassin heroes are big. The other one is going to be the Jing, but they have left it purposefully open at this point.
Ooh. That might be a bait that they're looking for here. Especially that they picked up the Dolia first. So with the Dolia out of the picture, would Zhangqiu force the Yangzhan on their hands or even just a Yuhuan so that they don't have that option for their side on Boom Esports?
I mean, you can, but there's also, you know, other answers to the Yangjian. For the Trilight, there's like Musashi, there is... Okay, they will not entertain that thought in the first place. BIGETRON just goes straight for the Trilight.
Yeah, they went for the Trilight, the Tunecaster, because they just want to deny things from the side of Boom Esports so that they don't have those options on their hands. You won't get the easy resets. So think about what you're gonna do next. Oh, okay, they're gonna go with the Wings of Judgment from Majestic Guardian.
I like it a lot, right? This is the long-range poke game. Same with the composition they've picked here. You get to pick and choose when you actually want to fight. So unless BIGETRON by Vitality here wants to go on a secondary dive hero pick, which the RD makes a lot of sense, right? But it is a risk because right now, if the Trilight is going into the jungle, it's a one-time jump.
Yeah, they need more of a wall here, right, from Boom Esports. That's the reason why BIGETRON has been banning this ton. Because they need a wall on the side of Boom Esports because they have a Zolia already, and the Charlotte, the Rose Fencer is not going to be doing much in the tanking department, but more on just having skirmishes. So they are, there you go. They're taking out all of those options.
Yeah, that's actually a great counter, right? I personally am not a fan of the Flowball Marksman matchup against the RLE. I think maybe I've met better RLEs all the way. But here we go, Mr. Gary picking up his team for Boom Esports, and the shoutouts to Cartel here.
Cartel. Spear is holding a Cartel at the back though. Okay, that is really funny to see. Everybody right there. Shoutouts to everybody there in Indonesia that are the casters, the friends that we have there. Boom Esports are gonna be going for the Wild Rider and the Chano, which is a classic matchup against an Arley.
And this is a specialty from the side of Danny, right? This is one of his favorite heroes. And you know what? The Wild Rider is a great answer against the Baichi here, the ultimate weapon, as well as the Trilight, the Yangjian, because they're able to shred the tanks really quickly. So BIGETRON, they want to circumvent that kind of risk. They take the potential time bender here. Sunbin, I love this a lot, right? The time flux, as we've seen, can be a huge game changer because it gives you just that extra 50% damage rebate coming in.
Yeah, and also the movement speed is going to be really helpful. After you use the Unleash the Hound on Trilight, then just move forward. You can just march forward because you have the extra speed, so you can chase the targets here from Boom Esports. So yeah, this is still a really good pickup for the team, and having the time-lapse available in case the Rose Fencer comes in.
I like the answer here, but I'm still preferring Boom Esports' draft, but it really ultimately comes down to how much farm does Carl get, right? Because if Carl is going to have the gold and EXP lead, Bao Lanfeng and Zhangqiu, they're not going to have a great time at all, even with the help of F1.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because they have a lot of shred on their side. Even add to the mix, the Tatsuri Majestic Guardian is also going to be shredding them. So it's going to be tough. But one tough thing that I can see here for the side of Boom Esports is that they don't really have a really good front line. So if ever somebody breaches the back line, the formation is going to get disassembled. So that is going to be the only rough part here about their composition.
That's true. And I think, you know what? Let me play the devil's advocate here. I think, actually, I prefer the Boom Esports' lineup in this early game, right? Because Yangjian's jungle clear is actually quite slow. So in comparison to Agudo, who has the release passive, you're able to eat up one of the camps. Definitely much faster than having the traditional attack, and smite. And with that, it's going to be huge if they can get the lead on the side of Boom Esports here.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna be seeing both of the supporters right here of BIGETRON, and even coming in from the side of Boom Esports here on both sides. And I'm pretty excited about this matchup though. How are they gonna be dealing with this? Like having two solid front lines from the side of BTR, having technically no front line from the side of Boom Esports. How are they gonna play around that comp that they made?
Yeah, I mean, this is like the question of nature versus machine, right? Machine being the red robots and nature being the wolves, that is Boom Esports. And whoever strikes first probably will strike the hardest in this particular game, because once you have the lead, I think team fighting wise, this one really is favored towards the PKL side of Boom Esports, but F1 can really change things up here.
Yeah, I just realized though, they have a lot of summons basically for the side of Boom Esports. They have the Chano, they have the Wild Rider for them, so they're gonna be doing just that for sure in this game. And yeah, we're just seeing Cartel in the back.
Yeah. Just a slight hint on that, right? And here's another thing that Boom Esports' lineup is going to be really scary at. They can take turrets really quickly.
Yeah, it's gonna be fast though. And also, because the wave clear is great, you have a Majestic Guardian that you can add to the mix too. That is not going to be a problem for them.
It's like a magic Tyrant here who can attack from even further away, right? The pierce effect. And at the same time, Time Flux doesn't reset the damage on your towers. So a little bit of a concern here, at least from what we can see on the side of BIGETRON. So the red robots, they need to do a little bit of tinkering with their execution here.
We're just waiting for the players to be ready in their game. Now we're still just waiting for the timing. But BIGETRON are ready. Look at Ball just looking at the camera. It was just catching. Oh, great catch though.
Yeah, definitely. I think right now is the best time to really steal your nerves, right? Because if you can pull ahead in this game number 3, it's going to give you the momentum to potentially put yourself in series point for game number 4.
Oh, there you go.
So whoever takes the lead here, I think is going to be really having the momentum swing going in their favor.
Yeah, because it's basically a best of 5 again. So that's why it's important for you to get this, because whoever wins this gets the momentum back for the team. So that's what they're going to be doing here. And Boom Esports to get the lineup again, and BTR on the other end. That is what they're going to be going for this game. But, okay, I saw the problem with BTR's lineup. They don't have a lot of damage here, kid.
I agree. Everything falls onto the Arlie as well as the Yangjian here. At the same time, the wave clear in laning, it pretty much favors almost everyone on the side of Boom.
Yeah, that's true, and that's gonna be the problem here. If ever they are very tanky, yes, but if they're not gonna be able to do it, Lanfang, Striking Troop has been used, and you can see the steal that they're doing here with Carl. He just got away with it.
All right, I mean, this is early game loss, for sure, right? BTR, there's no response. Danny should be able to get this Firehawk as well, but here comes the numbers from the side of BIGETRON. They will wrestle control over this Firehawk. That should be given now to the side of BIGETRON. A nice recovery, but someone needs to help Zhangqiu. Zhangqiu is not having a great start here.
That's rough. That's rough. One of his buffs got stolen, and nobody was there to help. Nobody checked on the Azure buff a while ago, so not a great start, especially for somebody who doesn't really have a lot of wave clear.
I mean, they couldn't, right? They were so stuck in this mid lane matchup with Tatsui, who already is able to deal quite a bit of damage. Level 4, here comes the setup.
Yeah, Gorge Mobilization has been used. Not going to be dealing a lot of damage at this early stage. He still has a camp to clear, which is a good thing for him.
Yeah, we'll see. Once again, while we're waiting for the big monstrous growth, get your CD key here, flicker in, go into the app, make sure you redeem it, get a star stones if you haven't gotten all the heroes as well. In the meantime, BTR looking to put a stand here because Boom is definitely going to win this early game here.
Yeah, they're just going to be taking over the game, especially having a Wild Rider on your team is just so good. Level 5 already on this guy. He's just on such an advantage just because of what he did a while ago. It's going to be a time for them to try and go in, maybe deal some damage. More mobilization was used, even the heal coming in from draw. Still pretty early, they don't have a lot of damage yet.
Yep. This is just a movement to make sure that they have secured the space for their Azure Golem, right? You cannot give it twice to the side of Boom.
Yeah, now they're all in a good spot. Just got back right here, and Danny and Lanfang on their own world here, trying to fight each other for now in the bot side. But as we are seeing, BTR is happy with what's happening. If no kills are happening, we're okay with this. They're on a very comfortable position.
Yeah, because Boom actually needs to be the one pressing, right? They need to create the pressure here. And that's going to be really important because you want to have that early game lead. You want Carl to be the monstrous jungler that he needs to be to deal with both Bao and Zhang Q. Meanwhile, the rest of the team can benefit off of this. Tatsuri just getting his skills down with the auto attacks as well. He hits like a truck at this point, but they need the setup.
Yeah. Most important point here is going to be on the objectives, because most likely Boom will be happy on taking those fights because of the advantage that they have. So BTR, what are they going to do? Are they going to contest it or no? It's going to be up in 30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds is a... not too long, not too short, but Bao did use his ultimate, so he's not going to have his taunt for the 4-minute take if Boom really want to start it right now.
Yeah. Right now we have 15 seconds. And they're already posturing themselves on the top side of the map. I think Miggy is going to be happy about that fight. That is going to happen. The wave has been cleared. Zonku trying to go for the force here, but 5 seconds. They have to clear this wave first before they go for this fight. And now they go in. Unleash the Hound was used. Propped again. Carl not in position. Doesn't have the HP, and Zonku is very healthy, so they can go for this easily. Do they have the timing right? They have the Heaven and Earth form right there on Zonku. Nobody's going to be able to steal this. Gets the stun on Carl. But what a great Wings of Judgment here from Tatsuri just to push everybody away.
Yeah, but Lanfang did secure it for the side of BIGETRON, right? So this is going to be a great start for them at this point of the game. They are managing to even out the gold advantage here. And this is not a good sign for Boom. They're slowly losing control of this early game lead that they're supposed to have.
Yeah. But now this is the time that they can push, right? This is the time for them to go for those sieges because they don't have the tower protection anymore. So it's time for them to find a way to find an opening on the map for a tower to take down.
That's true, right? And in terms of like goal difference, the biggest difference maker here seems to come in the form of the farm lane and the clash lane. And that's a big concern. If Lanfang wins a solo 1v1 against Boom ESPORTS' Danny, then this is not going to look good at all.
Yeah, and that's not good because we want them to win. I mean, Danny is not going to have a good time here. He's going to be flashing away. Unleash Hound was there, but Zonku was able to get in. A lot of damage going to come through. Lanfang is going to be the next target here. Miggy wants to go in. Not a lot of HP, but they are still healthy enough to go for this next fight if ever they want to. Lay Waste is available for Ball, and now the pull pulls Carl in. They got the Lay Waste on him, but there's no follow through from the side of BTR, and this gives an opening for them to go for the push here on the mid lane.
Yeah, lovely move by Miggy here, making sure the wave clear is here. But Lanfang 1v1 against Tatsuri, not the best idea at this point. He wanted to get some free damage. And Miggy's just making sure that the pacing of Boom ESPORTS is just a little bit quicker because BIGETRON can't really catch up at this point in time.
Yeah, under the tower almost got there. But right now on the top side, at least Ball was able to get there in time so that nobody would be able to get in a good spot. I think Zonku might be able to get the kill here on Danny, trying to use the Unleash the Hound, but a lot of things are in front of him, so he's not going to be able to dash in.
Yeah, lovely reverse play from the side of Boom, putting the numbers into work as well. And like we said, they shred towers like it is like cotton candy. So BIGETRON, they lose a T1 at the bottom. That was what they wanted to do. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So Boom ESPORTS secure a little bit of a gold advantage here.
Yeah, that's interesting because they are the ones who are getting pushed around by Zonku, but they were still able to get the tower anyway. And they won't even be able to trade it up with the tower top side because Miggy is here to protect it.
I mean, they can just take it for free, and now Miggy has been caught.
Yeah, gonna go for the fight ball. Slow down coming in from the frozen breath from Tatsuri is enough to just force them out of the picture here. Danny having a 1v1 with Lanfang, but they still got the kill anyway. What a great start here for them, and now the tower is gonna go.
Yeah, instant reversal by BIGETRON. The robots are making their move. The T1 at the bottom falls. T1 at the top is going to fall as well. Lanfang doing the structural damage. Bao looking for a catch here, but it's Zankyu now in a 2v1 situation. Not ideal for him, but the pull away is great. BIGETRON, they want more damage on the T2 instead.
Yeah, great position right here from their side though. It's working their way towards it. I think right now Boom still doesn't have the damage that they're looking for in order to shred Ball and Zankyu, which is why they're struggling if ever a team fight is going to be called here by BTR.
Yeah, and every single time Gen Myth has his ultimate, the unending sorrow, then it's a little bit difficult because the heals will come through. Right now, it's just a, topsy-turvy pendulum swing for both teams about getting that map control here because they're taking turrets left and right, but it's benefiting BIGETRON more at this point.
Yeah, right now they have to be very careful about it. I was kind of expecting that Boom will be the ones who are going to be getting the tower advantage here, but because of the respect that they're going to be having here, they are putting a lot of people on the top side. Ball is also in action for this, while the Tyrant is gonna get taken by BTR also, so there is nothing that Boom was able to get there.
Yep, they have to secure their own resources in the jungle at this point. Azure Golem going to be secured by Carl as 5 members here in the middle lane. They want to protect this T1. And here's the little thing that's really hard to do. Boom actually want to trade with neutral objectives or maybe get a good team fight, but BTR is not allowing that to happen at all.
Yeah, they're not even giving them any of that space in order for them to take it. Using the time flux to get more space, getting the speed to get to the bottom lane faster than Boom ESPORTS. That is enough for them to take the tower though. And now they're gonna go in, lane waste was used, and now the pullback on Danny, even with a flash, it's not enough, and BTR are just gonna be taking it over. I thought he's gonna click it, because that could have been a kill on draw.
Yeah, it definitely was a big play from the side of BIGETRON, right? Very clear game plan. Let's put the numbers in front. We want to push Boom back. And if they're trying to fight us off, we will take the fight. They got the T2 right now. They want more. The T3 open. Silence coming in.
Yeah, time flux is used again. Together with the time lapse. They're going to clear the wave. Carl got pulled back. But is it a good thing? Wings of Judgment is there to just whittle down the HP here from the side of BTR. They were not able to push here.
Yeah, but look at the value of the time flux, right? The extra movement speed, the health rebate coming in from the damage of Boom. And once again, they get the wave clear. And this is where BIGETRON's strengths start to shine.
It's very good, honestly. And now, BTR looking for that takedown on that Tyrant. Even Lanfang is the only one here. They even put Zankyu on the top side of the map so they know if the Overlord is going to get taken. But Boom didn't go for it.
They can't, right? This is such a smart movement by BIGETRON, right? Because there's a wave pushing at the bottom side. Now, if you choose a fight, you might be putting yourself at risk of losing the T3, which is a more dangerous pain. And Boom ESPORTS now, they're being cornered by the side of BIGETRON. They're going to put their members down near this Shadow Overlord because they don't want to allow them to take it. Boom. Going to be repressed and pushed back as they create room for Lanfang to not only get the farm, but get a split push going as well.
Yeah, Boom taking their time here. Waiting for that Daybreaker on Danny. Danny has been the constant target here from BTR, which is why it was hard for them to get any form of damage in the game. Because the time flux has just been regenerating the damage coming in from the Wings of Judgment. Now onto the backline, I think they might be going for this. That's enough zoning from Zankyu to just push away Boom out of that first tier tower.
Yeah, they don't really care. They already have the positive in terms of turret trades. Zankyu now just pushing them back so they can get a little bit more pressure on the T2 at the top. It's going to be a trade at this point. I don't think BTR loses the T2. Okay, they will. This T2 at the bottom.
Yeah. Now, because the minions were there, I think they're not going to be losing it, right? Oh, man, I think they will. Never mind, but right now BTR is just positioning themselves on the top side just so the Overlord could be taken here after this Primal Bond.
Yeah, so smart from the side of BIGETRON. That initial wave clear at the top means now Boom have to choose, and the choice is very clear. You go for the wave clear. You don't contest this until you clear the wave because you don't want to lose a T3 at this point. It's a 2,000 goal lead for BIGETRON, not the biggest, but it is sufficient.
Yeah, but it is looking really badly here for the side of Boom Esports because it's the map is all over for the side of BTR. They're the ones just taking over, just making sure that nobody from Boom Esports would be able to fight back. And with the Shadow Vanguard on their hands again, double objectives already on their hands, it's gonna be hard for Boom to get away from their base.
It definitely is, right? Because even though there is only a singular kill onto Lamfeng's hands here, he's about 3,000 gold ahead of his counterpart. Danny is not having a good game. And with the tankiness on the side of Zhang Q, aided by Bao. Bao has been landing a lot of those ultimates layways.
Yeah, there's always been the catch there, right? Always been the catch of Ball, Zhang Q. It's hard for him to survive on most of these team fights, and even if he tries to come back, look at this, the time flux is enough to push forward. Gorge Mobilization was used onto the backline just for them to go for the push, and this is looking good for them. The timing's just right. HBR is still very healthy here for the team. The Wings of Judgment is there, but Twilight with his ult is just tickling down Tatsuri. But it's not enough to take down the tower, but the T2 in the mid lane is down.
You have the heals coming in from F1, the time flux coming up from the Sunlin pick, all just bending time and bending reality at this point. BTR can go for more.
Oh no, this is not a good position right now. Carl has been pulled back with a lane waste together with Tatsuri. They both fall down, and that is the call here for BTR. They could go for the end. Oh, the towers are pushing. Boom Esports are having a hard time in order for them to fight back. They even use the ultimate right now, Miggy trying to make sure that they try to finish this in their favor, but it's not going to happen. BTR is going to finish this, and this game goes to BTR.
Nice! From the side of BIGETRON, the robots, they will do their job here. The Red Giants will make this secondary win be in their favor. So the scoreline now is 2-1. BIGETRON by Vitality take the lead.
Yeah, they got the advantage now, and BTR, what a very masterful play. Game number 1, it looked like it. Game number 3 was just like that. They were just playing there. That is...
Yeah,
that was an L
moment,
I saw
right?
there.
Yeah.
that was an L I saw right there. You got, man, my hands are gonna hurt if that happened to me too.
Yeah, it is. So that was the stepping stone that they're looking for, right? Understanding the win conditions on the draft for the side of Boom Esports, that was great from the side of BIGETRON by Vitality. Now, it's not the end of the road just yet. We are only halfway there. In terms of BIGETRON by Vitality's journey here. But that's only if they win the next 2 games to clean up this series. Boom Esports are very much still in the game here. What do you think needs to be fixed in this game number 4?
Yeah, I think Boom Esports are struggling with what they wanted to do with their team compositions, right? Because what they wanted to do that game, take the early game, siege as much towers as they can because they can. But because they divided them, I think in that game, they needed to stick together. But because they didn't do that and they tried to divide the map, it was very hard for certain gears to turn, like the Chano, the Wild Rider combo, in order for them to take the tower. So they need to recognize what needs to be done.
Yeah, I think you were talking about, hey, they don't really have a frontliner, right? And that became their kryptonite in this particular game because they were supposed to have the early game lead, they were supposed to have the goal lead, and then create situations where they can get the first blood, get more camps, get more objectives, and really get the best out of the BIGETRON by Vitality lineup before they got fed. Unfortunately for them, they were forced to put their feet off the pedal. There was no more gas left in the tank because once Zhang Q was able to tank, Bao was able to get those catches. And with the heals coming from Gen Myth, the heals coming in from F1, the time flux as well, to make sure that everyone sustains a little bit longer, it doesn't matter if you don't have too much damage because over time, you naturally take the lives of Boom Esports.
Yeah, and from what we've seen there, I think they got a good checkmate here from BTR. Just picking up the Zoya first pick here for Boom Esports. Had the reaction from BTR be like, pick the Yuhu one, pick the Tunecaster, pick the Twilight, so that they don't really have a really good combo because Long is also not available anymore. So that was a good checking point here for BTR.
It definitely was, right? And then at this point, Carl did tank so much damage, 136,000 worth. But unfortunately, because Danny was so far behind in farm, he couldn't extract any value in the team fights, right? Instantly, every time, somehow, Zaku found his way into the front of Danny's face. Tatsuri as well, you mentioned this weakness. If they get the backline access, there is no fight to be had for Boom.
Yeah, and you can see that Boom had the advantage in some parts of the game here, especially at the 15-minute mark. But it was just, in the end there, BTR just turned the tides around and was able to just take it over. But one thing that was scary about that whole game also was the Sunbin pick. The time flux has been such a great element for them to start fights.
It's a very underrated pick, right? I feel like there's not enough respect given to the Time Bender hero. And I think a lot of teams haven't really explored that potential yet, but BIGETRON by Vitality, they are showing you their creativity. They may be the red robots, red giants, but at this point, this is the kind of creativeness they need, right? Understanding that this is the small gap we can use to fill, we survive a little bit longer, buy more time for Lanfeng, and naturally you get the damage in as well.
Yeah, they're basically using the time flux as a low cooldown howl during that whole game. They were using it. If we want to engage, we pop the time flux, we all go in, and it was effective. And with what's happening also with Tatsuri in the mix for that team, he tries to do damage, the time flux heals them back, so it basically neglects some of the mechanics that were presented by Boo.
Yes, and most of the members actually have a little bit of sustain, right? Like Lanfeng has already naturally built in his lifesteal item, the Doomsday, F1 with the help of his Roma item, right? Starspring, able to get the heals on the team and on himself as well. And, you know, taking a look at the mid lane, Genmyth with his Unending Sorrow provides heals. Zaku naturally with his ultimate gets the heals as well. And then, of course, Bao, he is going to be healing all the way. And, of course, to reward this creative
F1, right?
pick, F1 will be your MVP with the Sun Bin pick, the Time Bender. 005 did not die a single time, but gave everything for BTR.
Just love the smile coming from F1 here. Honestly, well deserved. It was the reason why the calls that they do out of that time flux and also denying any startups from with the time lapse that they've been using has been really good and very well deserved for F1. These roamers that we have currently, they've been doing God's work for the games that we have been seeing.
Yes, a lot, right? F1, we have draw as well in this particular one. And, you know, across the other teams as well, I think the roamers have started to really step up, right? They're not just making sure that the teams have a comfortable time, but also making sure they have the perfect setups as well.
Yeah. From what we've seen, what a great game here from their side. And you can see there how they use the time flux in their favor, right? They just move forward, use the time flux, tank the damage because it's going to be back anyway. So they are just getting away with a lot of things because of the sustain that they have from the side of BTR.
And where they use the time lapse as well, right? The position of that big circle means that Boom Esports can't stay there. They will actually get damaged. And it's a huge AoE damage coming in from the Sunbin ultimate, right? So Time Bend